Good evening and welcome, everyone. We're excited to have you on the call tonight. We have quite a lineup here. I've got some information to share with you. First of all, I want to check to see if my special guest speaker is on the call with me. Chelsea, are you on the call?
I am here.
Fantastic. Okay. You're just going to mute out for just a couple of minutes, and we're going to get started. So tonight's call is a little different than what we normally do on Tuesday nights. For you people that are brand new, you won't know the difference, but for those of you that have been on this call before, we typically talk about the 3-year retirement plan, and I'm going to go into that quite a bit. However, we're also going to talk about what is now being coined as the 3-year freedom plan that many younger people are getting involved with. So here we go. The Global Exec Team is a group of professionals who have broken the barriers of traditional business. We're creating personal and financial freedom while developing a lifestyle brand worldwide. I want to mention to you that if you haven't already, you can log online, either on your smart device or on a computer, and you can follow along with some slides that we put together for you. And if you want to do that, just point your browser to join.me/Global Exec Team. That being said, I'm going to move on to the first slide in the series here. We're going to be talking more about where we stand in this retirement game that we're all going through right now. Let me see if I can advance the slides. Okay, here we go. So, first of all, I want to concentrate on how people accumulate wealth. Most people that think about this are not sure where the wealth comes from in this country, and here's how it breaks down. 10% are CEOs and presidents of large corporations. 10% are athletes and entertainers. They had special talents that allowed them to get into a point where they created wealth for themselves. 10% did it the old-fashioned way through inheriting the money from relatives, and 5% are super salespeople. The overwhelming majority of people that have created wealth in this country have done it through owning their own business. Many people see this and they say, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. I see that by owning your own business, you have leverage. You can create long-term freedom for yourself by creating wealth. But how do you do it? And what are the statistics behind owning your own business? Well, it certainly is something that you have to understand. According to the Small Business Administration, there are some barriers of entry that you have to take into consideration, and that would be number one, working capital. Then, of course, your ongoing expenses like legal, accounting, rent, salaries, insurance, things of that nature. Of course, if you're in a business that carries inventory and you have to market and advertise the products, you've got taxes, accounts receivable. It goes on and on and on. The sobering statistic is that 4 out of 5 businesses fail in the first 5 years, and just 1 in 100 make it past 10 years. Most of the time, this creates a huge time commitment, and most business owners are just owning their own job. They're a slave to the business. So the question is, do you own the business, or does the business own you? And is it your own personal, professional expertise that you have to depend on every single day in order to make a living, or do you have any leverage? So we're going to talk tonight more about what would happen if you didn't want to get in a situation where it was all up to you. If you got sick or stopped working, what would happen in a business like that? How do you get out of that? How do you get into a situation that you can have the perfect business? And if you choose this path, here is what you are going to find with people that have gone through this retirement program the way that I've described it. Of every 100 people at retirement age, 49 are dependent on family and charity. 29 have already checked out. They're no longer with us, and that could be for numerous reasons, obviously. 12 will be broke. 5 will still be working. 4 will be financially independent, and just 1 in 100 is going to be wealthy. So how do you break the mold? How do you break the statistics? How do you exit from the workforce and continue to make money? Well, you have to find what I refer to as the perfect business, a business that has no inventory, no overhead, no accounts receivable, no legal, no accounting, rapidly expanding industry, not something that's flat or declining, something that can create time leverage, something that can actually put us in a situation where our day-to-day efforts become literally incidental in how much money we earn on a daily basis. That's what I'm talking about as far as being able to retire in style and really enjoy your retirement. And your retirement doesn't have to happen because of your retirement doesn't have to happen because it's a situation where you are old. It can happen at any time or any point in your life if you're in a rapidly expanding area and you have time leverage. corporate vision and leadership with a proven system. You know, what I look for when I get involved in any kind of a business, and I've been an entrepreneur since I started working. I'm 53 years old now. I've owned numerous companies. I currently am involved as a partner investor, or I actually work in a company. I have 3 different companies that I'm currently involved with. I look for exponential growth. I look for worldwide expansion. I look for something that is growing and is in an industry that creates a lucrative compensation plan. But most importantly, I look for a business that has residual income. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about a business called network marketing. And for those of you that have heard about it, say, oh, yeah, I think I understand what that is. Isn't that one of those pyramid things? Nothing could be further from the truth. When you understand, and Robert Kiyosaki says it in this slide right here, the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for a job. Network marketing is the great equalizer. Here's the cover of a magazine with Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki talking about why they recommend network marketing. Here's a slide that talks about Bill Gates, one of the richest men in the world, says if I was given the chance to start all over again, I would choose network marketing, building a network of consumers. You know, most companies have to advertise and market, and people that have nothing to do with either production or consumption of that product get a piece of it because they're advertisers or marketers. They're middlemen. We eliminate that process, and we build it through the most honest form of advertising, which is word of mouth, our own personal testimony. The game changers in this industry, well, that's simple. It's mobile communications. It's things like Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube and, you know, people that have vision like Stephen Jobs did and like Mark Zuckerberg and the founders of Google and these people that understand that we can now communicate on a worldwide basis. I just had to kick my wife Susan off the phone as she was doing a conference call training with our amazingly fast-growing team over in Australia and New Zealand. And, you know, we're back-to-back here at this household over here in Massachusetts because we understand the idea of leveraging ourselves and building teams. And we're doing this all over the phone and over the Internet, and it's all being done for free with the likes of these types of applications, including, you know, WhatsApp and Viber and things of that nature. So you can build a worldwide business. This is the game changer. Social media and mobile technology, the perfect fit. Let me introduce you to Isagenix. Perhaps you've heard of it. It's becoming more commonplace that people have heard of it. They don't really know what it is. Some people have tried the product and fall in love with the product. Some people fall in love with the business. I will tell you that Isagenix is leading the industry. They're leading the charge in this network marketing industry. They have solutions to transform lives, both physically with World Health, and of course their goal is to become the largest nutrition, health, and wellness company in the world. A corporate vision of over $75 billion, and this year is our first year that we see the site set to hit over $1 billion in just this 1 year in 2015. So we're just at the very beginning stages, a dozen-year-old company, to get to this point where we're so excited. A recent newsletter that came out August of last year, 2014, talked about ordinary people that are Isagenix superheroes and the extraordinary results that they've experienced. And all of these people, all different walks of life, 7-figure income earners, over $100,000 per month. And here's the thing that's so interesting about it. It took them all 2 to 5 years. Talk about a hyper-accelerated retirement plan or freedom plan. Everyday people, extraordinary lifestyles. Now we have over 130 millionaires. I challenge you to find a company that has created 130 millionaires, and I am not talking about the owners of the company or the stockholders of the company. I am talking about people that are individual, independent people working with this company. Over 132 now that have become Isagenix millionaires. The youngest millionaires, Emily and Hayden, age 26, high school guidance counselor, Isagenix millionaire. The stories go on and on and on. This is my most exciting part of the call tonight because I get to introduce Chelsea. Chelsea Miller is my daughter. She is graduating this May from Babson College, which Money Magazine ranked as the #1 college. It's been ranked for almost 20 years now as the #1 school for entrepreneurship in the country. She is graduating at the top of her class. She's 21 years old, and She is part of the Women's Leadership Scholar Program. She's a budding entrepreneur. She's already had her own independent business, and she's worked in corporate America for the summer at a Fortune 500 company, which I think she's going to talk a little bit about tonight. So we're excited that Chelsea is on the 3-year retirement plan. And, Chelsea, welcome to the call tonight. I'm excited to have you on.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here with everyone.
Well, I've got a couple of questions that I've prepared for you tonight, Chelsea, so I hope you're ready. The first question I have for you is, so many of your sorority sisters and your fellow students that are graduating from Babson are moving on to top-notch companies, Fortune 500 companies, with starting salaries that are ranging between $60,000 and $80,000 a year. Now, this is way above the nation's average. Why don't you find this an attractive option for yourself?
This is a great question, and one that I have not been asked only once or twice. But the real reason is that I was fortunate enough to be able to be attending one of the top business colleges in the world and be surrounded by these people who are going out into corporate America. And, I gave it a shot. I did, like you said, worked at a Fortune 500 company this past summer. And I went and I did the 9 to 5 and I worked there. But the bottom line is that it didn't excite me. And we only have one life, and we're here on this world to experience every day as it comes. And, I'm 21 years old, and I'm looking at my life ahead of me, and I want to wake up every morning excited. And the reason that I chose this path instead are for 3 reasons that really, really excite me, and that's the opportunity, lifestyle, and environment that being in Isagenix can afford you. And by opportunity, it's really that growth. So no matter if you are starting at 60, 70, 80,000, 30,000, 40,000, or even if you're just, working on a splitting your time for money, you having that opportunity to grow quickly and dependent on exactly the amount of effort that you put into your business just isn't an opportunity that working in corporate America provides you. I was looking at starting out at maybe a $60,000 salary, but the opportunity to grow was maybe 10% every year to 2 years, where in Isagenix, the company not only allows you, but invites you and challenges you to grow 100% every year and really just challenges you to have your income soar in such a little amount of time. And then also the residual income that it allows you to have. No matter how hard and no matter how beloved of an employee that you are, I don't know any boss that's going to say, thank you so much for your work. I'd love to keep paying you now that you're not working here. And that's something that I think that is just so incredible that I can build something once and have it for the rest of my life. And then there's that lifestyle. I took a hard look around the people that I was working with in this Fortune 500 company, which was thousands of people, and I looked at my boss and my boss's boss and her boss and his boss, and I looked all the way up to, the highest that I could get, and I realized I didn't want any of their lives and that they had worked so hard for so long and granted had these amazing salaries, but they still came to work more than 40 hours a week. They still were working all year long for that 3 weeks vacation and to have those 2 days on the weekends with their family. And that's just not the lifestyle I wanted. I wanted to have time to work whenever I wanted to and have the location freedom to travel wherever I want. One of the biggest things for me is that when I graduate this May, I don't have to decide where I want to live because I can travel wherever I want. As long as I have a phone on me, I have my business with me. And that's just something huge that isn't offered in any other job out there. And then also the fact that at such a young age, we're really building someone else's dream. You're sitting there and you're putting in all your efforts and you're giving this corporation your youth so that you can build their dreams instead of building your own. And even though my friends might be making this $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 salary, the reality is that they're working not 40 hours, they're working 60, 80, 100-hour weeks. And, that's time that I'm not willing to give up. It's precious time in my life that I can make a similar or higher salary in, so much less time and be able to really enjoy my youth. And finally, it's the environment that Isagenix provides, being with people that you want to work with who have values that are the same as you, and everyone's building each other up. I can't tell you how refreshing it is to go on your Facebook every Monday and see posts saying, what are you going to do this week? This is another week. It's so exciting. Every Tuesday it's recognition. So proud of this person for a rank advancement, or this person for, enrolling a new person, instead of what I was experiencing in my time in corporate America, which was, hiding secrets of the trade and beating each other out for a promotion or a raise. And, that environment, there is something to be said about just being around people that make your life better. And that's something that is just so incredible that Isagenix provides you with.
Great insight. I have to tell you, Chelsea, for years, that I've been involved in Isagenix. Now we're going on into our third year, starting in a couple of months. And I've always been talking to people who are either looking for an exit strategy to get out of working and into retirement, or they're in their, mid to 30s to 40s that are sick and tired of being sick and tired. But your generation seems smarter than the generations previous, because you can already see the writing on the wall, and it's obvious to you this is not the path you want to take. So my next question to you is, why network marketing? And in particular, why is the Isagenix opportunity so attractive to young people just getting started in life?
This is a great question, and something that's really passionate for me is that, obviously, to touch upon being young in the lifestyle, that's a huge factor. This is an opportunity. We don't have to wait 10, 20, 30 years down the road to have the life that we want to have now. It's really powerful if you take a second to really think, what could I do with every single day of my life if money didn't matter? If I didn't have to wake up and go to work next week or ever again, what could I do? And, that's a huge part. And I think a huge, an even bigger thing for me is that I truly believe that this Generation Y, this new up-and-coming group is going to change the future of the world. And I believe that for two reasons. The time and the financial freedom are going to really create something that we've never had before. And you're going to get a little bit of my economics background here, but back in the farming industry, when you go way back to when America was first developed, we were so focused every day on waking up and being, how are we going to feed our society, our families? And we weren't able to, really look at any other opportunities, because every day from morning to night was farming. And then the Industrial Revolution happened, and we were able to take out, waking up every day and feeding ourselves in things like art, entertainment, technology started budding, because we had that time freedom, that you were no longer waiting to see if you could eat, but what else could you do with that time? And now this is a new revolution coming on. We no longer have to wake up and think to ourselves, how am I going to make money? How am I going to provide for myself? How am I going to provide for my family? Instead, we can wake up and think, how can I contribute to this world? And I don't know what's going to come out of this, but I am so excited to be a part of it, because this new generation is going to make leaps and bounds and change things and create and add to this world in a way that we didn't have the time to do before. And then it's the financial freedom. When you're sitting on an airplane and they go through the instructions, they say, if there's any accident and the airbags come down, first put it over your mouth, then over your children. And after that, if there's anybody else you can help them. And it's the same thing when it comes to finances. In order to help others, you first have to help yourself. Most people in a basic structure of their life spend their 20s trying to figure out how to provide for themselves, and then they go into their 30s and 40s and figure out how to provide for their family. And when they reach that 50s or 60s level, they're able to finally have enough income and savings to start providing for the world. And when you take all of that out and you do that in your 20s, when you're able to provide for yourself, provide for a family, and now provide for the world so early on, it's just incredible to think about the changes that we're going to make. I mean, you already hear about Peter Kelly doing the Earn More to Give More, and all the other changes that are going to be happening within Isagenix that I'm so excited to be taking part of in this change in the world.
Well, I have to tell you, this is pretty exciting listening to you talk like this, Chelsea, and I know that for many, many years you've been a big goal setter, and I'd love you to share with us your big goals for your Isagenix business. Can you project out for us and share with us what your 3-year plan to freedom is?
Absolutely. So this truly is a business of 3 years, and it doesn't mean that if this is you've been in the business for 5 years, not like you missed out. It's 3 years of commitment and patience that will literally set you free. So whether you're brand new today or you've been in the business for a while now and you're ready to finally commit, it really is just saying to yourself, the only way to fail is to quit. And I've committed. And my goals is that, in the first year, it is completely feasible with hard work and commitment to make 6 figures. I will graduate Babson and within a year of being out on my own in the real world, be making a 6-figure income. And that opportunity is only available to me because I have the vehicle of Isagenix. And then in that second year, you see your team growing, and, you go from a 6-figure income to a higher 6-figure income. And then in that third year, honestly, it just becomes unstoppable. You have this growth and this momentum, and it takes over, and that's where you see that residual income where you can't really keep up to it or stop it. You could quit if you want to, and it doesn't matter because it's taken on a life of its own. And I'm going to sit here and say to you today, 3 years from today, by the time that I reach 24 years old, I will be a millionaire in this company. But the best part about it is that any other person on this call or in this company can be a millionaire with me in 3 years' time. And, I'm committed. It's just a matter of where you guys want to be. If you guys want to be a millionaire in 3 years, you can do it. And that is what I love about this company.
Very exciting, Chelsea. Very exciting for your dad to be listening to this as well. And I will tell you, Chelsea's getting on a plane tomorrow with her mom, heading out to Palm Springs to NYKO. For those of you that are going, I know you're excited to get out there. It's going to be an amazing event. A lot of milestones, a lot of new product introductions, a lot of new announcements. We're excited to hear all that stuff when you come back, and I'm sure we'll do another call and update everyone that didn't get a chance to go out there. But Chelsea, I'm going to finish up the last few minutes of this call. I want to thank you so much for being my guest speaker. Great job, and we'll be hearing from. You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. All right. Let's finish up and let's talk about if there is a better way. You've got to find it, right? And this is Thomas Edison. Can I do this? A lot of people are saying to themselves, okay, sounds good. How do I get involved? What do I do? Well, there's a few qualities you have to have, and one of them is you have to be a positive person. You can't get involved in this business with a negative attitude. You've got to have a positive outlook, and that's why, like Chelsea said, it's a very positive business when you're around people that are like-minded, that lock arms and say, we're going to do this together, we're going to set goals and we're going to reach them. You have to be able to understand that this is not going to come to you on a silver platter. This requires work. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It requires work. But if you'll put in the time and effort and you'll understand that the team-building concept that has been inherent inside the compensation structure is exactly what it will take for you to succeed, then you will help your team members succeed, which will help you succeed. And last but not least, you have to have a big why. And what I mean by why is you have to have a reason that you're doing this. What is the reason? Whether you're looking for an exit strategy out of your current situation, whether it's corporate America or your own business or you're working for someone else, whatever the situation may be, you've got to develop that why. You've got to get passionate about it. You've got to share it with other people, and then you can be successful. And I tell people this all the time. Your first 90 days are crucial because when you first get involved and you're immersing yourself in the information and you're immersing yourself in the products, you get excited and you share that opportunity at that peak, and then other people do the same thing and your business begins to grow. So what can you expect if you get started? Well, for most people that we've talked to that have been on this 3-year plan, they can expect to earn somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 in their first 12 months. This is very, very doable. Get to 3-star, which we're not going to talk about the compensation plan in detail or the products tonight. We're talking about the business. But when you get to that point where you get to 3-star, you can be earning between $50,000 and $100,000 a year. Within the second 12 months and 24 months, you could be at mid-6 figures, and you can be at high 6 figures within 36 months. I can share that my wife and I had started this business together. I worked it very part-time. Susan worked it much more than I did in the beginning. We worked together to start to build it. Our first year, we were able to earn $90,000. Within our second year, we went over $400,000. We are now in our third year. We will be Isagenix millionaires by our third year mark, which is March of this year. We're excited. I mean, if we can do this, anyone can do it. We're not ridiculously, what's the word I'm looking for? Unique people. We're just believers. We believe in the company, we believe in the products, we believe in the industry, and we share that information with other people. Once you max out one business center, you're earning over $700,000 a year in residual income. That is the statistic at that one business center, and you'll learn more about that when you understand the compensation plan. So how do you stack the cards in your favor? Remove yourself from the economy, tap into the growth of this company, the momentum, the exponential growth, and the 12-year proven track record. We've done over $3 billion in cumulative sales since we've been in business. We're going to do what's taken us 12 years to do. We're going to do $1 billion in the next 12 months. What does that mean? That means the 132 millionaires that we've created, that number is going to, in all likelihood, go up by double within the next 2 years, what it took us 12 years to do. We have an in-house research and development department with 25 full-time scientists. I almost feel like I leave my left arm out when I don't talk about the products on a call like this, but there's so much information on the products that I want to share with you. One of the places you can go is to our website, our corporate website, or to the person who invited you to this call tonight. They have their own personal website that they get when they enroll in the company. They can send you there, and you can watch the videos and read about all of the different studies that have been done on these products and get your own edification. So with that being said, the next steps for you is to experience the products for yourself. Begin part-time, which is what most people do. No one just quits their job and starts full-time. It's something that you start deliberately, working 6, 8, 10 hours a week, and you continue that, and you're setting goals for yourself each and every week that you're in the business. Be coachable. Work with the people that have been successful before you. Follow our proven, scalable system, and always start with the end in mind. What I mean by that is commit yourself to a 3-year plan. Commit yourself to 36 months. Don't make any judgments on the products or the business. Just use them. Follow the people before you that have been successful, and you will pop your head up 3 years from now, and you will say, oh, my gosh, look where I am now. I can't believe what has taken place in that short period of time. The first step is always the hardest. Robert Kiyosaki says, knowing you need to make a change isn't enough. You've got to find the guts to do it, and that's what we want you to do. We want you to join us. This is your invitation to join the 3-year plan for residual income. Thank you so much for being on the call tonight. We finished in 25 minutes, which is awesome. The real call actually takes place now when you hang up and you talk to the person who invited you to this call, because that's when you can get your questions answered and really truly find out, is this something that is for you and something that you want to pursue. We hope you decide to join us. Thank you again for being on the call, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Good night, everyone.